Bonjour à tous everybody and welcome back to Mac Island. This is Mac Plays on Mac and this is episode number 9. So just a quick remember, last episode we rebuilt that intersection that we built a few episodes ago, and also we added that unique factory. We also built a cute little neighborhood right next to that big park and that island over there. And we also redeveloped an old parking lot and some housing into some denser area, among other things. Now, in today's episode, we are gonna have fun with an helicopter. We are also gonna build a monstrosity of a farm. Because of the addition of new mod, we're also gonna be able to add some touch up to some parks and make them even more park-like. So we're gonna do that all around town. And finally, we're gonna also redevelop the center of the city with the bus station in mind. All right, let's get to it. So one of the first things we're gonna do is discover the new mods that we installed into the build. So find it is gonna be a big use for today's build. As you can see, I'm still playing around with that mod, trying to find where is everything, and this is amazing what we have access to. So right here I decided to plop some more cars because this parking cannot work on the side. I plopped them earlier and unfortunately they always disappeared. So I don't know what I'm gonna do about this. I'm gonna try to find out, and when I plop the helicopter, it just flies away. So, and I cannot actually seem to be able to delete it, so that's something I'm not gonna do again for now at least. So bye bye helicopter. Alright, let's go back to where we were before, and we're trying to build a new neighborhood here. But first, let's play with the plane and just pop one now. So look at this amazing takeoff, 100%, 90 degrees, very good. And bye bye airplane. Alright, so this mod, as powerful as it is incredible, and you need to have plops that growable to make it work. So the actual building, they stay where you plop them. One of the little things that I'm missing from City Skyline 1 is we were able to have a little images about the mods, and it's kind of hard to see what are the buildings, so you have a lot of research into what building fits the best there. And sometimes, as right there, actually, even if you plop them at the perfect place, they are not a perfect fit anymore, so let's put them away. Now this is from extended tools and visible tools. So this is a very powerful tool. It helps you to plop invisible areas, park areas, and other kind of invisible things. But anyway, the thing that is so good is now people are going to be walking there, or they're going to be hanging around there, or doing whatever that area you made it to be, and that allow you not to have to build an interest point like you had to do in City Skyline 1. This is just amazing. Now I decided to prop up a bit this property. This is our most beautiful places in the whole city, and I decided to make it more grand with picnic areas and table. I'm actually gonna upload a short on YouTube very soon about the story of this house, so stay tuned. Again, we're gonna put a park area for this whole little places that we wanted it to be a park, and we are now gonna add new props to it. So it's still very hard to find all of the props that you want to use, and if you post the same prop, it actually changes color, which is very interesting when it gives you diversity and stuff like this. But when you're trying to put park benches next to each other and they don't have the same color, that's pretty annoying. So I can't wait to have something like in City Skyline 1 when you can actually select the color of your prop. So I'm still finding out about all of the building. Even if there is not that many assets, it's still pretty hard to figure out which asset go where. You know, it's like all pretty new, and I'm not 100% happy with how this neighborhood is gonna turn out, so I might change that down the road. I'm just still discovering again everything and all of the possibilities that the mods, Paradox mod, added up to the game. When you rebuild, redevelop a neighborhood, usually you tend to increase the density. So that's why I went for some towers. And also walkability is always something very important into the city. So you're gonna find always pathway everywhere to connect streets and people, and of course public transportations. So in here I decided to add a little pond on the other side to make it look like this is an actual bridge, you know, like you cannot really see it, but it's just a small bridge where water can actually go in and out like this, even if it's not the case. Alright, it is now time to build the controversial part of this build. So first we're gonna buy up a bunch of land, and now we're gonna make sure it's not really flat, but at least much more inclement to what we're gonna build. And also we're gonna need to remove of all of the trees. So let's take a look at the contour, and let's try to have the road follow the contour as much as possible, and then we'll have the different type of farm just adjacent to this road and filling all of the gap in between. So here, of course, since we're gonna have to make how is it called? I mean, in French we call it an épingle à cheveux. Let me think a second. Switchbacks, I think that's what it's called. Anyway, so we keep following all around. Here you go, another switchback, and let's show that we don't have a grade that's too high or too low. I think like I'll try to keep it as low as possible, apart from the switchback when I go tend to be like 3% maybe at some time, but this is about what it is, like from 1 to 3%. So here we're gonna level a tiny bit more, and we're gonna build our first farm, and this one is gonna be a wheat farm. So we're gonna extend it all around here, all the way. And the good thing when you use anarchy with the farmland and stuff like this is you can actually go past the boundary just like all the time, but we will do that later. So now we're gonna build another farm on the other side over there, and this one is gonna be another wheat farm. Now down here we're gonna have a vegetable plant farm, and this is where the first troubles comes. So I would have loved to have a different kind of field depending on the farm we have. Like you see now I just put a cotton one and it just looked like all of the other one. Now I'm putting another vegetables farm and boom. I would have loved to have like some green tint into the carrot one or the vegetable one, and for the cotton one, you know, like some cotton plant, actually like a cotton field. So I really hope something is gonna change, either from City Skylines themselves, Paradox themselves, or via the Paradox mods, and finding a mod or new assets when the asset comes. That's gonna make a difference between all of this, because this actually just kill my whole plan of having like something that looks very realistic, like we can see in Europe in the mountains or in Asia, you know. But this was only the first big problem that I came up with. That I had to deal with. Now, as you can see, I'm gonna go around like this and build this giant thing, and unfortunately it doesn't go very well with the edges with the water, so I'm gonna have to find a way to work it out later to see how can I improve the edges. Third disappointing moment was when I put this animal exploitation, you know. I was really hoping to have just animals like walking around, you know, like cows or sheep or whatever, just like not having any of this field, cultivated field, you know, but more like a green pasture where animals just walk around, and just maybe the barriers, you know. So that just ruined the whole effect of this idea, unfortunately. But hey, don't worry, it gets worse, much worse. As you can see right there, a giant amount of building just plopped all around the field, just ruining the whole vibe. So yeah, please create a mode where we can disable this kind of behavior, because this is even worse than how it looked like without this. Alright, let's go back into town now, and the first good news, the building actually finally developed all around. So yes, ground pollution is still there, but as you can see, is decreasing. It keeps pushing away from the university and the whole block. Now it's barely there anymore. Let's see how our lines are doing. So this is a pretty decent amount of utilization on the bus. The tram, not that much though. Alright, now this big island that we made like a park, let's actually officially make it a park now, because we can with these areas, and we're going to do the same with all of the park actually around town. Let's make everything a park. Alright, now on the other side of that street we just developed, we also freed some area to also have a new apartment complex. So we're gonna go again higher in density, not as tall as this. Maybe I think I'm going a tiny bit too tall on some of them, so we're gonna get rid of some and make them like about like 6 stories, 5 stories, top of 8 maybe. And now let's not forget to detail a bit by putting some pathways, some trees, a couple benches, you know, just to make it look and feel more like home. So while we are redeveloping, I found that having housing over there were not maybe the best suit for this new development we have across the street. So I decided to build some small shops across, just like this. Yeah, you see traffic is getting pretty bad over there too as well. Alright, now let's try to add a bit of life to this crazy place we created a short while ago. Let's try to make it a bit more, maybe, I don't know if realistic is the word, because it's honestly not realistic looking at all, but I think a little forest over there can make it more charming, more okay looking, I guess. And we're gonna also increase the buffer between the farmland and the highway as well in the south. Alright, let's take a look at lower level to see how it looks. And apart from this buildings that just are conforming to the terrain and just demolishing everything, I think it actually doesn't look that bad. Like, just imagine it just without any building at all, just a field. That's actually the idea I was going for most of them at least. And here we go. Problem number, I don't even know anymore. Take a look at the field over there with the big building just leveling everything. That sucks. And look at this. It's actually interesting if you see like the, I don't know how you call this machinery, this big machinery in the US, but it's actually interesting. If the terrain was flat, I'm sure it will look amazing. Although the scale of this vehicle, even being huge in real life, I feel are not very proportional to how they should be. And yes, never mind the giant step where it came from, okay? I promise to you, as soon as we can, we're gonna fix all of these level issues. We're gonna try to fix to get rid of all of these buildings, make like the terrain different color when it needs to be. Anyway, that's my idea in the future. Right now, at this moment, it's not gonna be done during this episode, but I hope it's gonna be done within the next 2 episodes. Now let's keep decorating our parks, and because we added to that park a long time ago this area around, and I just want to add some benches. Even if I'm sure they actually cannot use the benches really, I just feel like they add a big touch of friendly places, or like people where can see it and miles of view, especially on this big island. It's like a big loop around. It's gonna take you a while, and you just want to be able to enjoy this breathtaking nature views that you're gonna have around. So we're just gonna add benches around all of the park we built for the beginning of this series. And now you understand what I meant by the benches. Unfortunately, they can change color randomly and you cannot control it at all. So I just can't wait to have like a painted kind of mod or anything like this. That just will be great for the future. Alright, so let's take use of our new assets from the pack that we received a couple of weeks ago now, and we're gonna build a bunch of small houses. I think I went for the European style over there, and down the road there are more North American style. It's just amazing how trees and paths can bring life to a place. But anyway, this is about to be the end of the episode 9 of Mac Island. Today we did a lot. Monstrosity, detailing, adding new neighborhood. So let's take a look at all of this. Encore une fois, merci beaucoup à tous. Thank you so much guys for watching until the end. I hope you enjoyed this episode. A bit awkward maybe with all of the little farms we built, but thank you for sticking with me and I'll see you next week. Bye bye, à la semaine prochaine.